Hi everybody, your monthlies are finally coming out. I really had to kind of resolve in my own head how to do it to balance between everything I want to do for you and my current inability to actually donate as much time. So I decided to go free flow. And free flow, it's not going to have any kind of spread attached to it. I'm simply going to ask possibly different decks to give me messages for you, and we'll go with that. And this is sort of like really high level message that, it's going to tell you where you can go and to what you can amount and what you have to watch for. Like sort of like basic kind of like let's go for it kind of thing. I'm going to give in my bi-weeklies, which are always on the 1st and 15th published. So I'm sticking to that. And for those of you who are looking for X situation on and off, like there are also those series that are coming out every month. Now, before I move further, I actually want to send a shout out to everybody, and hopefully you will be joining in this particular proposal that I have. So I'm in the process of actually building my own card deck. It is collaboration between me and Mira, a wonderful, extraordinary artist. And so we are bouncing off the ideas back and forth. She's adding her basically touch to it, and everything that I have seen so far is like coming out really wonderfully. Now, I would actually like you guys to have your own touch to this basically making. And so I'm not doing this haphazardly. I don't know how much you know about me. I'm also a marketing professional. So I'm trying to select a group of people, 10 to 20, that, can give their 2 cents. And this is not like kind of a call for you giving accolades. This is really, I can understand this message in it. No, I cannot understand message in it, because that way you're going to set us straight to be on the right path. And so I'm trying to actually select these 20 to have men and women, people from all walks of life, people with all kind of tarot experiences, from, hey, I'm just here to watch it, to, yay, I am basically a guru. So if you guys are willing to jump on board, please go to www.cattarot.ca/focus group and just like submit your application. Why do you think you should be the one in that group? And I really, really appreciate everybody doing that. This is non-paid position, and it's purposely non-paid position because I do want you to give me a rough time. And this way, it's going to be a really wonderful creation, because sometimes I may be too much up in the air. I'm an air sign, and maybe I need to be grounded a little bit more because I really like abstract. Other people really like ground. So hence, this collaborative kind of like pointers would really help to set me and Mira sailing in a better direction. And it's going to be a few rounds of this. This is a very, very first preliminary round. And I'm really, really thanking in advance to everybody who actually spent time even listening to this plea, and especially to those who actually apply or participate in a study. Thank you so much, and I look forward to applications. All the best. And now for the rest of us, let's jump right into the reading.
Hi Aries, and welcome to your monthly. And I'm actually really, really excited to read this. I was actually really shocked as the cards were revolving. It's going to be a really interesting month for you, and on a good note. Okay, so let's start with the rune that I picked for you. Ingus is the rune of potential. So it is symbolically connected to health, to well-being, and to fertility. This is especially meaningful for men. So guys, if it's not the time to kind of create babies, really think twice. And investment of $1 or $2 can create a lifetime of savings, just saying, right? So, as a rune of new beginnings, it also indicates great originality and also fertility of mind, because you're able to deliver all these beautiful ideas. This is just like the Empress, which would be the Emperor's counterpart, the Emperor being you in tarot, right? So, this rune inverted is the same, so it has no inverted meaning, right? So this is really good news for anybody who is, for example, looking for a new or more fulfilling job. But for a new start that really changes your life, you have to complete all business. You'll probably have to make a conscious decision to close a door on one phase of your life entirely. So no standing with one foot here and one foot there with this rune. So if you actually do that, and if you actually have that situation where kind of like that decision, clean cut is needed, you're going to find that you will have the courage and determination to actually end it. And decisions you'll be making are going to be the right decisions, right? Even if, like in the beginning, it's going to look maybe too complicated to tackle. So sometimes, especially when we are faced with change in life, we also kind of get through the feeling of anxiety, especially if this change is pushed down on us, right? So we then have the concern for the future. So the true wisdom of Ingus is not to worry, because this rune promises that there will be plenty of opportunities to replace that which has gone for something better. And check this out. Just keep thinking about this instead of the rune. So it's not a lonely little kind of symbol over here, and time after time. And I don't know why I'm so surprised that each different layer from 4 different decks, this is like the Earth Magic, that will be the Orshazen, the Law of Attraction Tarot, and the Pagan Cats Tarot, they're all basically saying the same. You guys have been going through some kind of decisions, how to follow your path. And this is saying, here you are. It is now or never. Right? So there is very little point, which you're going to kind of like really realize soon, that there's no point in crying over past actions and events. What has done is done. If you participate, which most of us do participate in arguments, even though maybe it's only 5% or 10% your fault, it's always good to acknowledge that 5 or 10% and work inside on yourself about that. However, letting it go is going to prove really beneficial and precious for you, and it's going to compensate for everything that you have lost. Another thing that comes to mind by looking at this rune is problem solving, right? So basically, maybe you have already been vexed by some kind of trying situation that maybe has defied your best efforts, and maybe you kind of like put into something tremendous time and attention. Now, you know what they say, keep trying the same thing and expecting different results. It's kind of insanity. However, this rune is saying that now the solution is very close to hand, and something small will need to be modified, maybe even something like getting it clear in your own head, right? So I think try to ignore the matter for a while. Give yourself a little space to kind of receive this clarity. And I think the tree here, the grounding and focus, is going to kind of give us more information into how to do that, right? And then the answer is going to be so obvious and so straightforward that you would not believe that didn't come to you earlier. This also can be a signal to earn or book a well-earned, basically, vacation. And or very simply take a day or two off work to refresh your spirits and kind of like regain that sense of perspective. So let's see then, because that really summarizes your entire reading, guys. You will have changes, but these changes are going to go like a flow. So let's start with this grounding, which was basically the second card after the first card after the rune that I picked out. And since you're a fire sign, a fire, earth, scorch earth, and this is kind of also the leading kind of theme of this deck. So even though it's a grounding thing, it's kind of like connecting to heart chakra, right? So let's think a little bit spiritually for a second. So tree. It's not just like the one that gives us like these beautiful flowers and fruits, which you, by the way, have it here as well. So you see each layer kind of like start giving me more and more and more. So the tree, if you really think about it, and especially how it has been represented in this particular card, it's almost like standing or showing as a balance between heaven and earth, right? So the branches are always reaching out. It's always like a big stretching arms. And I don't know when was the last time you stretched arms, but if you haven't in a while, why don't you do it now? It opens your heart chakra. It opens that breathing, right? And so with tree, what is really interesting is that their leaves breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen, just like the plants we have in our house. This is kind of like symbiotic relationship that we kind of like both benefit from, right? So they are giving us that very needed oxygen and we are giving them carbon dioxide. So the fuller you breathe inside, the more you get from them. So it is like really when you realize that another living being is really, really helping you. So the trunks and the roots, however, and that's kind of like a second part, as you see, as above, so below. They planted basically themselves firmly in the soil, and they're actually receiving also gifts from another kind of nourishment, which is like from Earth Mother. So now look at that. It's basically something that gets fed outside and inside, just like us. We have to nourish our body inside with proper food, with proper nutrients. And on the outside, we have to try to basically clean our act and be the best we can be. So this card generally comes out when, clients are feeling scattered or spacey. When they're not really fully in their body, or maybe they neglected their diet. Maybe when sort of like they are just about to give up on themselves, or kind of like really saying, oh, what the heck, why would I do that? Well, this is a reminder that you're not doing that from the outside, that you're doing it from inside. It's just asking you to reconnect, right? So I always say this good possibility, if the best basic solution would be to go out and put your feet firmly on the ground, wherever you are, and you can feel these kind of etheric roots of the earth. No matter where you're standing, you will have some kind of nourishment coming to you. So, or if you can just sit under the tree and have your back supported by it, right? Feel it. It's kind of very solid. It has integrity. It's simply a tree, and yet is there to support you. So breathing that essence of the spirit and simply walking barefoot on the ground will help you contain this connection, because it looks like that you first need to kind of clean this chatter, and it's possibly a lots of distraction and lots of chatter that is coming to focus, because crystals are basically, we see an amethyst here, which is my favorite stone, and it kind of like creates this enormous spiritual power, right? So amethyst, just like as well as other type of quartz crystals, have been used for thousands of years in magic and healing, right? As well as kind of like these kind of stones and crystals have been used for psychic capabilities. And many times I kind of like wonder, and I'm very thankful for not being a king or queen, let's say in the 16th or 17th century. Because then the healing was, let's grind this amethyst and let you drink it. So of course they would die. It's not how it works. And another dream of mine is like to really create a bathtub out of an amethyst. I just like think it would be not only physical cleansing, but also spiritual cleansing in one, right? So it is time to bring that focus, or maybe just to kind of like focus onto yourself. So whatever you have as a project or relationship, or simply a relaxing time spent walking basically in the nature, so be fully present to the situation. You see, the sharpening of focus will expand your awareness and allow your inner guidance to penetrate your consciousness, so that in turn can be parlayed into appropriate action. So it is talking, remember that A Few Good Men movie? Do you understand? Is that clear? Yes, crystal. So it's with this focus crystal clarity, right? You're in the flow of life force, and in fact, you're actually becoming one with it. So if you feel that you're not breathing, that you may be hypervigilant after this grounding, and like this, guys, don't have to take that much. In a few minutes here and there, just remind yourself that you belong, basically, right? So keep your eyes, ears, and heart focused on what you need to pay attention to, right? And miracles can be created. So use the force and use it in life-enhancing ways. And when all of that is kind of pushed inside and outside on you, when you kind of like realize how connected you are, it is time to spread your wings and fly. It is one of my favorite cards. And look at this soft light. Look at these huge mountains that is like, for us humans, we think about basically climbing them, right? But look at this beautiful body of river. She's kind of gliding around curves and rocks, sometimes gently, sometimes forceful, but it's always finding the way. So this is talking about resolving blocks, right? If your flow of life have been blocked, which it sounds to me it was on some kind of crucial items for you, it's going to be basically the time to apply this metaphor of the river. So you cannot force it. It's just going to find its way. You know, when you simply start paying attention and you observe where the path is leading you, it will become much easier for you to navigate your experiences and see what lies ahead. Or at very least to get a sense of, you know, what's going to be happening on ever-changing landscape. And this is really how karma works. Sometimes people ask me, can you predict my next 5-10 years? Well, you know, we see this time as kind of very linear motion. From my readings, I'm noticing the time is really not that linear. It's maybe very much like spiral or a river, right? So this is the trajectory that I can see, but I also cannot see what's behind or what's around. And this is basically also the universe telling us that we can take our path. We can find different ways, and that the free will tops everything. So then we are getting into this ripeness. So it's going to be a time that you're going to figure out, okay, now it is a time for me, right? So when the fruit is ripe, it basically drops from a tree. We would call it possibly death. But is it? So one moment it hangs by a thread from the branches of the tree like it's bursting with juice, and next moment it's kind of falling down. Not because somebody forced it to fall, but not because like, well, now you gotta jump, bungee jumping. It's simply the tree said, it's time. You're ready. You're ripe. Let it go. Many readers talk about this card as, oh, now you are going to be single. I don't see it that way. I see this 9 of Pentacles that is called in the other decks, and here is like 9 on rainbows. When it appears in a reading, it indicates that you're ready to share your inner riches, your own juice. All you basically need to is relax where you are, pretty much like just like your grounding card. That's why it pointed out to you, and be willing for things to happen. So this is asking of you for sharing of yourself, to express your creativity, and that creativity can be anywhere. It can be in your work, it can be in your relationship, and even daily life experiences, even how you say hi. You know, most of us just say, hey, hi, how are you? Do we really want to know? I guess yes, if people are really closer to us. Maybe you're going to be more caring. Maybe you're really going to go deep in people's soul. So there is no special preparation or effort that's going to be needed on your time, because you guys literally just have to ground yourself. You you just have to bide your time, and things will be happening for you. It is absolutely amazing period. And look at that. There is this breakthrough. There is this shattering, like possibly some kind of shell. And look at its predominance of red, right? And this is so appealing to you. My brother, the Aries, of course, like when you ask him what is his favorite color, he's going to tell you standard blue and black, gray. And I always go and buy him something red. Especially I'm from Canada, so red is basically lots of fun to find here. And each time he absolutely loves it. And this is the color that energizes you. Not too much red, just a splash of red, right? Elegant red, let's call it that way. So check this brilliant glow that kind of like it's coming out from solar plexus. This is the center of energy, right? And center of power. And also look at these arms. Try to do this exercise. Lift your arms just like that. Look at that. You see her lifting them up? This is the basically sign of victory. And by just doing this for a few minutes a day, your entire body chemistry will start to change, and you're going to start feeling that you're going somewhere, that there is a promise. You'll feel more confident, especially if you guys are looking for a job interview. Just before your interview, find a place where you can do it for a few minutes and then go and attend. This is going to help you. It's almost going to be that trump in your pocket. So if you're feeling maybe on some end that enough is enough, allow yourself to take risk of shattering all patterns and limitations. You see how basically this keeps reminding us cards are all linked. So you actually will be amazed with vitality and empowerment that is coming into your life. It is really a good time for you to kind of shed it. And almost like that karma is not allowing you to go any other way. Because if you don't do it yourself, or if you don't finish the entire process, then you're going to get Thunderbolt, the Tower in this deck. So you see in this card, let me see if it's going to clarify. You see it shows a tower being burned and destroyed and actually blown apart. A man and a woman are leaping, not because they actually really want to jump in or take a deep swim, but because they actually have no choice. This is just like you guys. Enough was enough, right? So you might be feeling, shaky in some kind of like life aspects right now, almost as if somebody's rocking basically the earth beneath your feet. And this is really talking about a sense of security and sense of belonging, right? And natural tendencies like to hold on to whatever we have and to be stuck where we are, right? So this is sort of talking about the wreckage. But if you allow it, just like as the other card said, if you just allow it, after the fire, the earth is replenished. And after the storm, the air is clear. You will actually emerge much stronger and more available for new experiences. So when this happens, and it's going to come in different forms, it can be epiphany, it can be argument, it can be somebody stepping on your foot when you were not really focused, but this can be some kind of distraction. But this distraction is actually going to benefit you. It's going to help you reach this clarity, because you see it's coming here together with focus. Because try to see when this is happening. Just remember, or that you have to start feeling this as some kind of detachment, almost as if it was happening to somebody else, right? And then kind of like see, okay, what would I say this to somebody else, how to react, and how to go from there. And then this card, past lives, it's lovely interpretation for this card, the moon card. And this kind of like, it's talking about womb, and it's opening to kind of like almost universal knowledge, right? And we have these two lizards, rainbow lizards, I think they call them, and they're talking about knowing and not knowing, and they're kind of guardians of the unconscious, right? And making sure we are prepared for the vision. So this is now where the rebuilding is taking place, guys, right? So this is telling us that our existence is a gift. And understanding the function of karma in our lives is not something that can be just grasped at will. You just don't Google it and go on Wikipedia. Oh, that's what it is. This is, guys, a wake-up call. The events in your life are trying to show you a pattern, kind of like as ancient as your own soul. So I know it's hard enough for some of us to even carry one life, but you will start feeling as if you are remembering. You'll be maybe not so much remembering your past lives, as much you're going to remember that you had tools for functioning. And I'm trying to wave my hands less because I got words that this creates kind of like fogginess and blur. So you will start in that focus, in the grounding, understand that you kind of learned certain things before, and it's just going to come back to you. Almost like think that you are maybe suffering from amnesia, because when we come to this life, our memories are stripped. And the more we kind of connect with our spirituality, the more you open your third eye, and the more you're opening to this. And all of a sudden you come into the existence of completely new sets and new abilities. And then lastly, the Hierophant, or nothingness. This is kind of interesting, because if I had to create a card, my first card would be, the Fool would be nothingness. And nothing is also everything. So this can be very disorienting and scary. Kind of like being in a dark room. Nothing to hold on to. No sense of direction. Not even hint of, oh my gosh, yeah, I see that ahead, right? But this is also a state of pure potential that actually existed before the universe was created. Look. I mean, getting these two cards together is like spectacular. So you know what they say in Zen, that you have to fall into the silence between the words and watch the gap between incoming and outcoming breath. It's good to practice your breath with holding in between, because that's where the treasures are hidden. This is the gateway to your inner world. This is the gateway of who you can become. So nothingness to nothingness is the whole journey. So you guys are simply, I know that you're kind of like headstrong, go, go, go sign. But even the most stubborn Arises are going to completely go on a new level. And you have no less than 4 out of 5 cards that are pushing you in the major direction. They are major arcana, which means you don't get to change it. It's the way it is, and it's the way it's going to be. It's kind of karma saying, okay, at this time you are ready, and I'm going to make you do that. So hence, you're going to do part of this month something yourself, another part you're going to be pushed into that wholeness, this understanding, and this is that restart. Whatever decision is made, no matter how scary it is going to push you forward. And guess what? Here, you're becoming you. This is the rebirth. The Emperor. Or in this card is called inner maturity in this deck. So this is telling me that your dream will come true. You're like becoming the best you can be. You can open yourself to this, make the small exercises. Do not get overly engaged, right? With distractions. Focus on yourself, because your dream will come true more easily if you rely only on yourself. If you kind of like stand fast in your values and do not compromise your equilibrium. Like, forgetting this means that your life has been out of balance, right? So you are the opposite sign of Libra. So it's always good to look in your opposite sign, because it's telling you the messages, what basically the other sign, what other side sees you at, right? So right now Libra is, always maintaining and trying to maintain balance. So this is the opposite to this, saying, okay, maybe you're out of whack and now it is time to kind of reestablish and kind of like group. And then you have another 2 wands. So this is like full potential. You're a sign that is kind of ruled with wands. So for you, the wands and swords are kind of natural ambience, because you can move fast, and sometimes too fast, but you still don't move. You have to match your passion with your words and actions. And this is, I think, what is happening over here, because here you're getting this like 5 of wands. In this deck, this is talking about success. So even though it's a success that is talking about like end result, just like here and everywhere else, it's not without effort, right, guys? This is not a lottery ticket that you win it or not win it. Here you get to work for it, right? So be prepared to face a struggle or make an effort to basically defend the dream that you basically maybe just fulfilled. Maybe you just got somewhere. This is definitely telling me about ambition, expansion, and abundance, and really standing strong, defending your own values. And you see the 5s are actually relating. And then you see the 1. Remember, like, you came to the beginning. It's a reset. It's a restart button. You came to yourself, and here you are, the beginning. It is likely that whatever you're imagining, whatever you wish to happen, will happen, because this is telling me it's the right time. And luck is on your side. So your desire for affirmation and success will bring absolute and great new opportunities. You guys are just really going to bask in the sun, but be prepared to work for it. However, your work will be really, really rewarded. And the most puzzling part in picking those cards was this sequence. King of Pentacles, Knight, King of Swords reversed, Queen of Swords, Knave of Swords reversed, Queen of Cups reversed, Knight of Swords. So, King, Queen, Knave, Knight. I don't remember when I saw it the last time. It's the entire family. It's the entire family. Or it's some kind of structure that doesn't work anymore. It has been dysfunctional. It looks like different people were pulling to different directions. Maybe there was like rushing into the action. Maybe it looked like harsh and brutal to the others. Maybe it is time to clean it. And Queen of Swords gets rid of anything that is not needed. You're kind of simplifying your life, and that's what you're doing, guys. You're kind of like restarting it. This is talking about somebody maybe putting themselves in a situation where they don't belong, and maybe they're affecting your life. There is also somebody who is a little bit out of balance with their emotions, or maybe using tears and different emotional trigger points to get what they want. Stand strong. Insist on your right. And I think this is possibly what you need to get rid of. This is how you were staying in some kind of situation where those emotional triggers have been pushed and you were feeling possibly guilty. Because ultimately, you're becoming strong and reliable and 2 feet on the ground or 4 paws on the ground. This is kind of like enjoying really earthly connectivity and feeling. And it's going back to grounding. This grounding keeps repeating, guys. So the next we are going to go to Lenormand, and with Lenormand we are going to just see maybe more life stories and kind of like more trajectory that can be in a store for you. So Aries October, Aries October, Aries October, Aries October. Whoa, you have the ring, clock tower, and the sickle. Some of you guys will be breaking up. Some of your relationships, you will sever some of the relationships because they serve no purpose. Just like that apple that falls off the tree when it's ripe, they're cutting the roses because they're ripe. That is the tough decision that you have. Otherwise, it could be about some kind of business contracts or something that for some reason doesn't really work, and it's going to be some kind of redefinement of that. Holy smoke, you got a cross as well. Just can't believe it that this for October, like everybody's like the karma is resurfacing, which is kind of weird because karma is like really the domain of Saturn, and Saturn is leaving now and maybe knocking on a door and saying, well, this is the karma that I have left for you. You see something from the past, and you have the moon here, which is that your past lives thing. Look at the ship and anchor, lovely. And there are those issues that you still have to overcome. Okay, so there is a significator that is here. And we have that issues that will be coming up. So I'm seeing this mountain over here. I am seeing that this is going to be the end of your problems. Mountain generally talks about blocks and how to deal with this, but not if the sickle is in front of it. So you're actually having this crossroads. Look at that. Like, where do I go? Like, you still have the issues, possibly with this relationship that is still kind of like very foggy. Something that possibly went all the way back to the past winter. Something that really felt like, okay, I have to be loyal. There is like a child, there's the house, there's the dog. But at the same time, right, look, you have the sun and the moon, but in between you have the clouds. The clouds are talking about not being clear on some options. So this person over here is absolutely a karmic soulmate. So I do suggest everybody to get your karmic reading with me, because everybody talks about these twin flames and soulmates, and I always giggle because that's kind of like not that important. It is important to really know what is your path, your soul contract. There are millions of soulmates, guys, and soulmates can be your dog, your cat, your parent, your child. Karmic soulmate is always somebody who is the gender we are attracted to. And in the soul contract that we write, which we want to accomplish, it's always some kind of emotional kind of lesson that we want to learn. We actually write in what kind of people we program into our contract that will push us back on our path if we kind of like stray away. It's just like a compass. So this is something that is really, really going to hit you. That's going to be that, remember what I said, I remember. You will possibly run into somebody or an issue or a person that all of a sudden is going to feel like deja vu. Oh my gosh, I have dealt with this. Yes, I know. I see it. This is how I should deal with this problem. You see, the lilies are always talking about something from the past. And there is like something that most likely is connected to the person you're not really clear how to deal with. Somebody who you're still very, very tempted with. Snake is temptation, and it's not necessarily a negative card. It's kind of neutral card. But here is like that issues that you have been dealing with. What am I loyal to? Are the things really as they appear? Something has happened. And here it's telling me there is like certain moving on. You might be even moving your residence and putting your anchor somewhere else and starting all over. And something that you start might be even a new job. See the key to Fox? Or it could be lots of networking and lots of really, really fun times ahead. You guys are going to have an unbelievable month. Of course, it's going to be hard labor, but it's going to be so rewarded, because if you don't work as hard, you would never really feel that you really got it. It's like when it's something given to you, it doesn't have the same flavor as earning it. Because that breathing that we kind of like started with that tree card in the beginning is like, yes, that you're going to feel by the end of the month. So you can as well lift your arms up and go, yes, that's where you're heading, guys. And lastly, I am doing the Enchanted map cards. You got 2 cards, lovely cards. The Magic Prayer and Magical Map Shifter. So both are magical. So oh my gosh. So let me give you the story behind it. Magic Prayer. Speak your prayers, listen for the answers, and act in faith. When you see the Magic Prayer card, it is a reminder that your prayers will be answered. Spirit is always waiting to help you and to heal you when you are in need. That said, the best prayer is, Thy will be done through me. Thy will and not mine be done. Conscious contact with your higher power is achieved through the ritual of prayer and meditation. That's your grounding there, guys. Speak and listen to the divine force within the field of creation. Surrender your wishes and desires to Spirit. You may not get what you want, but you will surely get what you need. Your destiny awaits you. As long as you keep in conscious contact with your higher power, be assured that you are on the right path. And Magical Map Shifter. Spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. When the Magical Map Shifter card arrives, it comes with a mission to make you aware of the people who come in your life to impact your personal growth. That would be your karmic soulmates. Perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence invites you to be the best you that you can be, or someone who leads you out of difficulty and into a place of safety or success. Pay attention to those individuals who cross your path and cause you to reflect on your journey. Be awake and aware, and you'll recognize them for the important change agents there are. Your whole perspective about who you are and what why you are here will shift. The Magical Map Shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. So on all layers, you guys are pushing forward. I mean, I just can't wait to hear your comments. I can't wait to hear what obstacles you managed to overcome, what new ideas, what kind of breakthroughs. Like, this is amazing. I think this is basically story for the books. It's really full. It's not cheesy. Oh yeah, there's going to be a new person coming in. This is spectacular, guys. And really, ground yourself. Spread your arms and you can fly. So guys, your comments are greatly appreciated. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, so that way you get notification within minutes after I upload. And lastly, please like. Hey, if you don't like it, please dislike. At least I kind of get that opinion too. And yeah, visit me on my Facebook. And until the next time, my Aries people, all the best to you. You're going to need lots of strength and you're going to be victorious. And I love you.